Kabam confirm buff to Iron Man Infinity War and rebalance info on Hulkling and Wiccan. Wiccan is getting a very slight nerf. We're going to have more on that in a second. Bugs and issues tracker so we can find out what Kabam are working on, like dropped inputs and so many other things. This is a very interesting time, very transparent. There's been a few potion and revive buffs to Cavalier Difficulty. Double revives, baby. We're going to look into that. And it's day of the Deadpool Day today, and there's questions around Kabams Thrillson, whether or not they're right or wrong, or is it a joke when it comes to the gold offers. Oh, hello everybody. Welcome back to the MCN for Friday. We've got a lot of things to go over, so let's get, over to the news things. And with Day of the Deadpool out today, make sure to have the channel on post notifications on all. Make sure to give us a subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Subscribing's free to a channel. Support the channel, please. That'd be very kind. Thank you. And we kick off with completion offer, or an update on that completion offer situation. As many people pointed out to me, there is a problem at the moment when you complete through Cavalier Difficulty, Uncollected, Master, whatever difficulty, you'll get a pop-up of a completion offer. That particular offer will differ in increments of cost, and as well, whatever reason, it was not coming up this month. A lot of people like those offers, so it is annoying when it doesn't pop up, and it looks like there was some sort of like problem. So what Kabam have said on that one is, thank you for your attention. The team was able to course correct on this one, so anyone hitting completion starting now will see the offers. Anyone who already passed the point where the deal normally pops up, the team is compiling information, but they will manually be pushing the offer to your account soon. Timeline is uncertain. It's a big task, so keep an eye out. So that's pretty bad, but Kabam is sorting it. Yeah, like these offers, like they are really good. Like I've got them a few times, and especially as they've kind of been improved, ramped up, buffed, it does mean you're getting a lot of value for the amount of units you spend. More so, I think, with the 1000 one, but it's again up to the court of community opinion as to the other ones. So yeah, it is being dealt with, and again, like it's just there's no timeline. There's no timeline, sadly, for this. And hours is unrealistic. Days is optimistic. A week is closer. That's all I got. So that's it. If you're looking to get this kind of like, I'd say offer compensation. It's not really an offer compensation. A kind of like redoing of the offer to yourself because you've 100%ed. It's gonna come. But for those that are looking to do this, it's fine now. So if you are looking to get completion, get this offer, it is going to be okay as of now. And for those waiting, it's going to take some time. Next up, and double revives. Oh, you can see what's on screen right at the moment. This, my friends, this is that tasty. And it's kind of like The Simpsons, where it's like, I'm seeing double here. 4 crusties. Well, not 4 crusties because it's like it's 2 revives. So it's not 4 crusties. It'll be 2 crusties. That's no relevance to the situation. But what is important is to get like the kind of Cavalier buffs that we're seeing to things. These little kind of things, like they don't go unnoticed. It's nice to see them being put in. Where we get double level 1 revives. We've also started seeing level 3 health potions be put into. Look, it's not super substantial. It's not level 5 health potions. It's not level 4 health potions, but it's a start. But why is it an important thing to see this? Well, as we've kind of like learned, I think Kabam said that there was going to be a new like event quest difficulty down the line. This kind of sets the kind of platform of the future and how maybe the future will go. So yeah, like it's great to see little things like this being added in. I just point out this is real, and like I'm saying like real because like I want this, and I'm gonna have to like go back through the event quest I think at some point just to go like, right, I make sure I've got this. Is it worth the energy spent in order to get them? And stuff like that. Next up, and tracking bugs and problems in Marvel Contest of Champions. So I think a lot of players want to get that level of transparency that Kabam should be giving to the player base, especially with the amount of years, the invested interest, and the fact that, look, there's tons of players that play this game. They want to feel like, the developer listens to them. And one thing that's important is knowing what the developer is up to. So we've got roadmaps, but it's nice to know what problems Kabam are actually working on. And this new Trello board, bugs and issues tracker, it is fantastic. I really rate Kabam on doing this because it's a good way of going, look, like how to see what's going on. So you click on the link, and then what you've got is a Trello board. If anyone's not familiar with Trello boards, they are brilliant, and a lot of them are used by games developers. Some are not. Some go different directions. It's a bit of an iffy one as to like what people use, whether or not they use things like Jira. They're not Miraboard. I think it's Jira's used by. It's different for different developers as to what they use for different things. But you can see right here like how Kabam have kind of structured this as being like, okay, well, what are they dealing with top issues, champions, quest and nodes, AW and AQ, battlegrounds. So we'll probably be referring back to this quite a bit when we're doing the MCN to kind of go, okay, well, what's kind of like on their list to do. Quest and nodes, for example, Grandmaster Gauntlet game mode temporarily disabled, and that's under investigation. So we can at least kind of go like, oh, you know, are Kabam kind of doing anything about this? And I'll be able to click on the link and go, oh yeah, by the way, they've got some players experiencing freezing. It's freezing crashing while fighting Null in 8.1.5. And like you can see, like Kabam Jax is working on stuff. So I think this is a great tool to be helpful for the community understanding what Kabam are up to. But it may mean that not everything is still answered and working on, but at least to know, okay, well, what are Kabam actually doing? And that's something we've never really had any kind of answer to in the past. And just one final thing is that with the launch status, input issues are under one card at this time, inconsistency in control inputs, and we'll be separated out into individual issues as we identify them. Crashes, etc. are very difficult to pinpoint, especially when they're device specific related. Some bugs will be fixed quickly and they may not end up on the board before they are fixed. This may not be complete. If you know bugs that should be on the list, please report them. So yeah, make sure to do that. Yeah, I like this. I think this is a great tool for the community to understand what's going on at Kabam. Next up, and will Hulkling and Wiccan get any kind of nerf? I think one of the biggest scary things is the rebalance system. The rebalance system, because you're like, okay, well, I don't know if one of my favorite champions is going to be dealt a blow. And with Hulkling gaining a lot of popularity over the last few months, it is a difficult one. It was a very difficult one to know whether or not the champion was going to be touched in any kind of way. As Kabam say here, that champion is performing. We're happy how Hulkling's performing, so that means that's good. All in all, we're happy with where Hulkling has landed, and we'll be leaving him as he is. That's great. However, though, Wiccan's getting some changes because featuring one of the most accessible neutralize effects in the game, a few niche immunities targeted towards null and regeneration versus annoying effects such as Terex' Rockfield. In regards to its damage output, we wanted its damage to spike in matchups where the opponent has buffs for your neutralize to fail and for it to be lower in other matchups. While we're happy with how Wiccan's currently sitting in the meta, there is an edge case that we would like to address in making the following changes to Wiccan's Arcane Theft spell. Okay, the changes are in bold, which is Arcane Theft, which is heavy, gain power, gain passive, granting 1% of max power over 10 seconds, max 10 stacks, nullifying up to 1 fury, precision, etc, etc, etc. So Wiccan, out of all this, and to get to the real point of it, is the champion is getting a slight nerf. In that, it says here, the effect of the spell was intended to be low impact unless the opponent has one of 3 specific buffs Wiccan to nullify, but even at this current base potency of 1%, Wiccan is able to stack enough copies of the spell to outpace the opponent's recovery window, as well as their window to punish block specials. This allows Wiccan to eventually loop special attacks over and over without any interaction or interruption from the opponent. While this requires a lot of time to set up and is only applicable to niche scenarios, this play pattern is something we would like to curb by adding a max stack limit to this spell. So that kind of like clarifies that. And for some reason this needs a beta in order to test whether or not players are happy with that. But I think the big bit of news that came out of all of this is that Iron Man Infinity War is getting a value only update. So Iron Man Infinity War is a champion that's always been a defender first, where we're looking to keep the identity while also making the attacker loops feel more accessible so he can be serviceable option, especially in battlegrounds, even if he's on the slower side. Look forward to a longer plasmas and incinerates, easier access stun on his SP2 and more. We'll be adding Iron Man Infinity War's changes to the beta at some time for players to try out and give us feedback, with hope that the process goes well so we can place future tune-ups on there too. After the beta, we'll take a look at the feedback and data and iterate if needed. Wiccan and Iron Man Infinity War with changes will hit the Battle Realm in January's 37.2 release. Now on to today, and today's Day of the Deadpool. At 10 AM PST time, we will learn whether or not this is going to be a joke or this is going to be real. Now, where I was like 80% sure that we were getting gold offers today, I am now down to like a 50%. And especially because, and I don't know if this is a joke. As I said, I did a whole video devoted to whether or not this is potentially a joke, especially with Kabams Thrillson being a character. I can't remember if like a Kabam dev like takes on this account or changes their name in order to do this for like a day or an experience and stuff. Yeah, it's a bit scary still. And as I said, like the biggest thing with it is this line here. And inquire with and threaten them about gold deals. They said they wouldn't be any this year. But do bear in mind that this is meant to be a bit of a kind of like a jokey troll thing. It's kind of good as well because it gets people talking and it's like it's a laugh. And as I said, like I've said in many live streams when people ask me about this particular point is, do Kabam want any more smoke to go with their fire? No, they've had the Battlegrounds incidents of last month. They had the VFX issues of last month. There's something else as well. They're kind of like the slight backlash with kind of relics and 7 stars and stuff like that. In a very short space of time, do Kabam want to have like the Kabam need to get a little W, right? And I think this has got to be either the making or breaking. So 10 AM PST time, we'll know later on today whether or not Kabam are getting more smoke to their fire, or it's going to be like, great, well done, gold offers. Just these things. The problem is we are literally, as a community, total Draxes, and we kind of like look at a lot of this stuff very literally because, well, and this looks fun. It's just we've been stung so many times. We're literally like Draxes. So yeah, we'll see if this is a big like funny thing. Haha, we laugh later on, or it's going to be a case we're going to be sad later on. We'll have to see. 10 AM PST. I'll see you there. And before we finish, massive thank you to those that support the channel as a YouTube member and as a Patreon. You can support the channel as well by just hitting at the member button, hitting at the Patreon button. That'd be very kind. Thank you. Also on twitch.tv/RichTheMan live. If you have an Amazon Prime account, free give a Twitch sub. No, please give your free Twitch sub to me. That would be very handy. Thank you very much, as all these lovely people do on screen right now. And I'll see you later on for a live stream. And yeah, that's been it. And that's some other content on screen right now. As I learn to speak again, I'm going to get a coffee. And yeah, I will see you later on for the Day of the Deadpool coverage. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.